As Australians, we all love the coast and are enamoured by its remarkable beauty. In fact, Australia and New Zealand have some of the most unique and diverse marine ecosystems on Earth. But did you know that in Australia, marine biodiversity is also worth hundreds of billions of dollars a year? It's critical to maintaining food chains needed to support marine mammals and the fish we rely on for food, provides us with resources, pharmaceuticals, and a range of services that many of us take for granted, like aiding the carbon cycle, without which we wouldn't be here. You may also be concerned to know that despite its importance, we know surprisingly little about marine biodiversity. Despite this, human impacts, including climate change, are causing extinctions at an exponential rate. And because this part of the world has such high biodiversity, developing strategies for conserving it is really complicated. Imagine if we could simplify biodiversity conservation by trying to find patterns in nature to help us understand how species respond to changing environmental conditions. Well, this is actually something scientists have been working on for decades. So far, we know some things like, at the large scale, that species diversity is generally observed to be higher near the equator and lower towards the poles. On the smaller scale, we also know that local environmental conditions, like the exposure of species to the outgoing and incoming tide, can lead to diversity gradients on rockshore platforms. We also know that variation in the size and shape of habitats within an area can lead to changes in diversity levels. But what we don't know is how all these factors come together to affect diversity, and which is the most important. So in trying to look at this myself, I've conducted latitudinal surveys on the temperate east coasts of Australia and New Zealand, looking at several habitats at each location and the animal diversity living within them, to try and understand, firstly, how the habitats respond to changing environmental conditions, like the exposure of sites to waves, and also what the consequences of those changes are for associated biodiversity. I also looked at the two countries which share similar latitudes to see whether they have similar or generalised diversity patterns. So far, the results show that habitat identity or habitat type is likely to play an important role in determining the communities present, meaning that conserving a range of habitats is likely to be important for conservation. This research is important as marine biodiversity is under threat. By trying to uncover the patterns that lead to high biodiversity, we can try and predict how species will respond to disturbances and identify key habitats needed to safeguard our precious biodiversity. Thank you.